Welcome to Generally Divided, a YouTube podcast show where we talk about pretty much movies, genres, video games, pretty much everything, politics, sports, weather, news, books, lots of books. It's Gen Z and what's your generation?
Gen X or
Gen Y?
Zennials or Gen Y, yeah.
Zennial.
Zennial.
I like Zennial. I like the way that sounds.
Zennial. Yes, welcome everybody to Generally Divided.
So today we're talking about Fortnite, the Fort of Night, the video game that has become so popular. Today, basically what we're going to talk about is, everyone knows what Fortnite is. I'm pretty sure everyone's seen it somewhere or heard of it somewhere. And we're just going to talk about what we think about it. Personally, I think everyone has a different opinion on it. I've heard so much on it. So what do you think about it?
Well, I think it is, I remember playing it when it first came out. So the season 1, when it was mainly really just you were fighting against 99 other people. And there was no bots, there was nothing. It was just you against 9. And it was very difficult to win on a PlayStation. And that's where I got first introduced to it. And it was interesting. There was, a different kind of game that at that time really wasn't as prevalent, you would say, but especially because it was free. And I think that was what has made it such the big behemoth that it is today, is that the gameplay and the root game itself has been free to play. So even if you don't have money to buy the new skins, the outfits, all the other things that go along with it that make it so great, it's still a free game that's fun to play multiplayer. You don't even need a PlayStation Plus account, an Xbox, the Live subscription. It's something that you can go play for free. If it's on your mobile device, Androids, hopefully coming back soon to Apple devices, or Nintendo Switches, and it's free to play. How often does something that's fun to do on a video game is free?
Yeah. That's a good point.
Not very often.
Another one. No, it's not very often.
So I think the game itself in that regard is great. I think the creators, which is Epic Games, I think they've chosen a path, and this is just my personal opinion on it. They've chosen a path to make the game more, I don't want to say universal, but more open-ended to all different types of universes, meaning they brought in DC Comics, they brought in Marvel Comics, they brought in Rick and Morty, they brought in all sorts of other pop culture references, meaning like aliens and other characters from other movies and genres into the game to enhance it for everyone, because now you get to be this character. They have The Rock in there, or Dwayne Johnson, he's a character in there. So it's just, they've spread out their wings so far. Unfortunately, for a while, that really, to me, detracted from the actual gameplay. It wasn't that fun for a while. I didn't like the way it was set up, the controls. Now it's gotten a little better recently, but I think that detracted, especially when they focused a lot on you have to go do these missions in order to upgrade whatever characters or whatnot. And I think that really took away from the core game that it was. I'm glad to see that they've enhanced it and made it a little bit better. But the game itself is fantastic, especially because it's free. And now,
Free is good.
Free is good.
Personally, I stuck it with it like you did since the beginning. Since season 1, I played the story mode that it had, which isn't really talked about anymore because of how big the actual multiplayer is. And the fact that the multiplayer is outshining the campaign, that isn't news for anybody. A lot of games do that, where the multiplayer is a lot more fun than the campaign. Honestly, I think the game has grown. They've learned and they've listened to their audience. They've listened to the people that are playing the game, especially with the fact that they do have in-game notifications where it says, hey, rate this, new weapon we unvaulted, or rate this new map design, or how easy was it for you to get this done. And actually, I noticed that there depending on what gun it is, if I put my vote in, I do notice that there is a change in that weapon or that item. They listened to people when they said that they didn't like a certain part of the map, or they missed a certain part of the map, like Tilted Towers. That was brought back. Everyone was very happy for that. I was happy for that because that was another spot I could go to.
Yeah.
That's a hot spot for everyone to go and cause chaos. Honestly, I think the game is just going to keep getting bigger. I mean, what are the limits when it's a universe that connects everything? I mean, it connects Marvel and DC. It connects pop culture music, Ariana Grande, and a bunch of other. Yeah.
Bruno Mars. Marshmello, yeah.
Bruno Mars, yeah. And it also helps get their music out too, because now, I mean, you drive around in Fortnite and you can listen to their music on the radio, and you can switch the radio station and you can hear a whole album from someone.
Real quick though, about the music part, you're absolutely correct, because I had heard Tones and I, her famous song Dance Monkey, and that was like the only song I knew about her. But in Fortnite, they did a concert event with Tones and I where it was a specially crafted level, so it was like a multiplayer 16, I think, people at the same time concert. It wasn't fighting, it was just, flying around, having fun with everyone, listening to the music. After that event, I went and I just listened to that music, her album, nonstop. So it was a fantastic introduction to more of what the artist had to give. So I think that is great. So I'm looking forward to more of those concert events, because that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that concert event was very small compared to some of the ones that they do. I know that they have really big concerts. And honestly, some of those concerts really blow my mind. I mean, they do a lot of the small concerts for a lot of the lesser known artists just to help them get well known. I mean, you found that last one just because he decided to jump in and just see it. I mean, that's really lucky and really good for the person making that music. But yeah, no, stuff like that, the little stuff like that's what makes the game good. I mean, they've changed a lot, especially the leveling. I mean, it's a lot easier now to get skins, especially if you don't want to pay for the battle pass. You can get it for free just by playing the game and earning, the V-Bucks. You might not get everything right away, but if you actually play the game, for a game to be free and then you can get all the free skins with it, that's a really big leap, because I know a lot of gamers that they never pay for it. They only go through the battle pass when they earn the amount of V-Bucks. They're very patient, and they just play all the missions. I mean, there's always missions. It's very story driven. I like that you can see changes in the game too. When you do a certain mission, a certain part of the map might change, or certain characters might react and talk to you on the walkie-talkie, and it's just really it's grown as a game. I mean, a lot of people don't like it.
Well,
I like it.
Okay, what have you heard negative about Fortnite?
Oh, a lot. I've heard a lot of people saying that it is an unoriginal game, that it is very loose with their story, that they can't follow it. Then again, a lot of those people, from my opinion, they haven't started from the beginning. And if you notice, even in the beginning, there wasn't a story. No, it was multiplayer. You could just jump in, play, have fun, battle royale. But through all the mistakes and through all the issues that Fortnite jumped through, I think they made it into a big story.
Well, I think
without anybody noticing until season 2.
I mean, if you think about it, when you're playing multiplayer, I'm not really playing it for a story. Honestly, that's more like a single character campaign for me, single player. I'm not really playing it for the story mode. I'm playing it for all the flashy skins that you can see, all the different, I don't want to say taunts that you can do, but all the different emotes that you can do, when you win, when you have a tough match with someone and you beat them, and and I think it's more for that than the story. Now, you said unoriginal. Now, I know that was a whole thing because the other game, I think it was Players Underground. Is that what it's called? The PUBG.
PUBG PUBG. I've heard of it.
Player Underground Battle, something, whatever. Anyways, that came out roughly around the same time, and there was a lot of back and forth about who stole the idea from who and whatnot. And a lot of it comes from personal likes and then jealousy. So let's say I really like playing the other one, PUBG, whatever, Players, whatever, better, and I like that game more. but I see Fortnite's popularity meteorically rise, and of course it's going to be like, well, yeah, that game sucks because I'm not playing it. I'm not good at it. I'm playing this other one, which hasn't had that same level of success and wide stream appeal. So I think it might be just jealousy that people have towards it. When it first came out, I think my at the time, I think it was my 13-year-old sister's son was playing it, and I had never heard of it. So I was like, "What is this game? What are you doing these weird dances for him?" Like, and that's another thing it's done. It's caused worldwide phenomenon with its dances and its emotes. So they get into this game, and all of a sudden they're everywhere. They become viral moments. So it's not only just in the video game realm anymore. It's now crossed over into real life, which I think is fascinating, and it's really cool that people are drawing from there. So are drawing from the video game to bring it to real life, and then also it works the other way. The creators, which I mean creators from both Epic and from the creative community with that Epic has now cultivated, bring in stuff from real life into the game. So it works both ways. So I think that's really fascinating. That's really cool, and kudos to Epic for that.
Oh yeah, no, Epic did a really good job. I watched the video that Epic posted, thanking a lot of the people that created a lot of those dances. I didn't even know the floss was done by some kid until I saw that video and I saw him doing it and submitting it to Fortnite to add as an emote. So he must feel really cool every time he does that dance.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that's really fun. I mean, there's YouTube creators now that have their own character skins and they have their own emotes, and those are like special gifts and thanks to them for supporting the game, supporting the content. And I just like that Epic really does listen and really does thank people. They really do go out their way to say, hey, thank you for playing our game. I mean, not a lot of games do that. It's a lot of money grab, which makes games get kind of boring. But at the end of the day, I can always go back and play Fortnite because I'm not playing a story. Just like you said, I'm not playing a story. I'm just having fun grouping up with my friends and going and emoting off a tower or swinging off a web.
Yeah, and that's what it's really cool is that it's not just it's become, and I think this is what they're really gearing towards. What I spoke about at the beginning is that it's becoming more than just a game. It's becoming a hanging out place, right? Place to go hang out with your friends and try out different things and whatnot. And I think that's what they're gearing towards. So it's going to be like almost as if they're like the Ready Player One universe, how, everyone spends time online and that's where you meet your friends, you hang out, is in the Oasis. So I think that's kind of what they envisioned in their grand scheme of things. And hopefully one day it gets to the point where we have headsets and whatnot that we can go hang out for a few hours, not all the time, for a few hours with our friends, and then go afterwards, go meet them in person somewhere else and whatnot. But it is really cool that it's become that go-to hangout place.
Yeah, no, I honestly feel it's going to be more advanced. I mean, as technology gets better and we get better VR systems, even more than we already have now, it's going to be like the Oasis. I mean, we already have the place where you can go chill and talk to your friends on creative mode. You can build your own world. You can have other people visit that said world and it can become super famous. And then there's just like in the story, there's an area where you can go fight to your heart's content with different character skins that you earn. I mean, imagine doing that on VR in Fortnite, running around, seeing your Rick and Morty characters flying around. I mean, it's limitless with all the technology we have.
So Epic, if you're listening, and I know you might be because you guys are like this everywhere. Okay, 3 requests we have for you. 1, make Fortnite onto a VR platform, whether it be Oculus, PlayStation, or whatnot. Have it be so we can, really truly immerse ourselves into the character. 2, at least for me, these are my personal requests. Number 2 is going to be adding the DC Peacemaker team into Fortnite because I would love that. I would actually spend money on that. You hear me? I would spend money on that, Epic. And number 3, just because I just thought of it right now, you guys already have a shark in the game. Why don't we make a boat and call the shark Jaws, and then have that character from Jaws and the sheriff and the whole beach scene type thing in there? Because I think that'd be really fun. Why not make it another pop culture crossover moment? There you go. 3 things to do, Epic. Get it done now. what do you guys want to see out there added to Fortnite? Is there any movie characters, comic book characters, book characters? Ooh, what about a Lord of the Rings companion set?
Ooh, that would be really fun. Lord of the Rings in Fortnite.
You have to go onto the mountaintop to find, drop the ring into the volcano, and that'd be kind of interesting. See, Epic, hire me. I'm full of weird ideas. But
they have gliders too, the giant eagles that come in.
There you go.
There are a lot of good ideas there.
So out there in YouTube world, drop us a comment. Let us know, what would you like to see added to Fortnite? What would you like to play as? What kind of music event, what artist would you say would be a fantastic addition to a concert series in Fortnite? I know for me, Lady Gaga would be a perfect concert event. Maybe they can make that happen. But what do you guys think out there? Let us know in the comments, and we will get back to you once we have those tabulated. Yeah, that guy has a comment too. So thank you everyone for tuning in today. We appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, share, and we'll talk to you all next time.